Okay, Francesco. I'm curious how big Webflow is in Japan, and is there like a good Webflow community around it in Japan?
Mm, Actually, I think there's kind of a lack of awareness here in Japan. It's growing. Actually, my friend Igor knows way more than me because he's doing business here in Japan for 7, 8 years now, and he is the founder of SupaSaito. But anyway, yeah, my impression is that yeah, there's still kind of a lack of awareness. A lot of companies are still using platforms like WordPress to build their websites, but it's definitely growing, and this is what we are aiming at. Actually, we want to kind of raise the awareness of Webflow as a platform here in Japan, and yeah, but there's still a long way to go, I guess, to be honest.
Yeah, I believe it's the same back here in Finland and in many places. So the WordPress is still a big thing, although there are other ways of doing websites. But how about the community? Have you had any Webflow meetups like in person?
We had one, but actually, yeah, even when talking about Webflow community here, it's not that big, to be honest. And this is something that, yeah, we want to focus on in, let's say, from now on. Actually, we are trying to kind of understand how we can grow the community here as well. And actually, to be honest, I think this is kind of similar to what is happening, or the situation in Italy. Yeah, the place where I come from, the country where I come from, because there, I think the situation is almost the same. I mean, a lot of companies are using WordPress or Wix, and I don't know, it's really uncommon to talk to someone and hear that they know about Webflow, and it's yeah, I think it's really uncommon.
Yeah, yeah. But at least Japan and Tokyo has a lot of people, so it's not about that. In my little town, there's probably 10,000 people, and I do not know anyone who uses Webflow.
Yeah, I mean here in Tokyo there's a lot of space to grow, and more company are coming to us, especially, and this is probably interesting, to migrate their website from WordPress to Webflow, which means that anyway things are changing. So again, there's still a long way to go, but yeah, things are moving forward at least.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're making sort of impact, or this is my or our hope actually.
yeah.
But
That
yeah,
is good. That is
we're
good.
doing.
Okay, before we go any further, I believe introductions are in order. So my name is Janne Parri, and I'm a web designer from Finland, and I will be your host today. And my guest today is Francesco Castronuovo. You might know him from his in-depth YouTube tutorials, of course, around Webflow, or as a mentor in Flux Academy. Nowadays, he is in Japan working as a chief product officer for SupaSaito. Uh, so tell me, Francesco, how does one go from a physics major in Italy to a chief product officer in Japan?
Yeah, actually, if I think about it, I don't know. Probably, I think that I've been kind of lucky on one hand, and on the other, I try to kind of adapt to change, because my life kind of changed a lot, to be honest. When I started studying physics at university, I really wanted to become a kind of researcher, or kind of a sort of scientist. I actually don't clearly remember, but I mean, I'm quite curious as a person. That's probably why I decided to start studying physics at university. But then I don't know. I realized that probably uh, I didn't really fit. I mean, for that role, and I don't know. And then actually, I really wanted to kind of have a family, to be honest, because while I was approaching the end of university, I had this kind of situation, and I was really thinking about having a family, and didn't want to jump from one university to another, from one country to another, and I really wanted kind of stability, kind of. But then that's why after I graduated, I kind of quit this, give up on this idea of becoming a researcher, and I started looking for a job in a company, actually, so a corporate kind of job. And but again, yeah, things changed, and yeah, and so I had to kind of adapt to this new situation. And so yeah, I had to abandon the idea of having a family. And yeah, and then I think I was lucky, because while I was attending the gym very very close to the place I was, the company I was working for, I had the chance to kind of meet a couple of persons that became close friends at that time. And they were doing they were freelancing, basically. One in the was a web marketer, and the other one was a financial consultant. And yeah, I started kind of talking with them, and that's how I kind of get close to this idea of um, becoming quitting kind of my corporate job and starting a career as a freelancer. But I mean, at the time, I didn't know anything about web development or Webflow or whatever. But I mean, I just tried to kind of create a chance to do something different, because yeah, we were kind of I was working out with these two guys one day, and they were talking about, I don't know, making a new website for one of them, and they didn't know who to ask to, how to do that. And so I just jumped kind of in this to this conversation, and I said, oh, okay, if you want, I can do that. And they asked me, but do you know anything about building websites? And I say, nothing.
Nice.
No, nothing, really nothing. Because I mean, I was working as a developer, but kind of UI developer, but it was not. I mean, it was on for a kind of industry. I think they're building kind of machines for the pharmaceutical. I don't know how to pronounce it, actually, but anyway, something that was completely different from the web development. And so I was using, I don't know, C# or C++ as languages to build my interfaces. So no JavaScript, no CSS. I didn't even know what HTML was actually at that time, to be honest. And I'm talking about, I guess, 5 or 6 years ago. It was 2019, I guess. 2019, 2020, or something like that. And yeah, but I said, okay, I don't know anything, but I can learn. And that's how I kind of started. So I built this very first website for free, of course, because I didn't know anything, and actually I used WordPress for that. And then while I was kind of studying about web design and web development, probably I came across on YouTube. I came across some of Ron Siegel videos on YouTube, tutorials on web design mainly. And that's probably how I came across Webflow the very first time. To be honest, I don't clearly remember, but I think it was thanks to one of Ron Siegel's videos about web design and web development.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I was really fascinated by that platform, and yeah, I started learning about that and became actually a Flux Academy student. And I think it was in late 2020. Uh, and yeah, because I was really kind of unhappy with my corporate job, and I didn't really know where I was going with that experience. And so yeah, I kind of almost abruptly, I would say, decided to quit, even if I didn't have any network, so any clients, so any basically I had no experience at that time. Uh, I just had the chance to get one single client because an acquaintance of mine at that time was building websites with WordPress and didn't really have the time for a new client that was coming in. And so he just asked me if I could take on that project. I said, okay, let's try. And that was my very first client, because the website I built for my friend, okay, that was kind of an experiment. So
Yeah.
it went fine. It was a good experience, especially to grow kind of. But yeah, that was my very first client, and I took care of both the design and development. Well, it took a lot of time actually, because I didn't know anything, especially about design. Because I mean, I'm way, I have to say that I'm just a developer. I don't have any design kind of sensibility, and I don't even like designing that much, to be honest. So yeah, at the time, especially at that time, I really struggled, kind of coming up with a design that was good enough for the client. But yeah, it took a few months to close the project, and it was a small one, to be honest, a few pages. But yeah, we did it anyway. So, and then again,
Yeah. The
was my very
first
first.
project, yeah, the first projects are quite hard and quite long, even though they are like small sites. But if I understood correctly, that was a WordPress project. How about your first like paid Webflow project? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, actually, that one was also my very first Webflow project. Yeah,
Okay.
because I started probably because as I said, I became a Flux Academy student in late
Yeah.
2020. But actually, I only started learning on their platform, on their academy, only in early 2021. After, because I kind of quit my corporate job in January, at the end of January 2021. So after I quit the job, then I had kind of time to invest and study more. Until then, it was just, I don't know, a couple of hours per week, only when I had time, especially during the weekends, maybe. But then after quitting the job, I really had a lot of time to invest. Also because I really wanted to
Yeah.
get started.
Yeah, that is
And
a hard situation when you kind of want to learn new stuff, but you have a full-time job. So where do you get the time to learn? And then if you just quit the job, uh, you kind of are in the hurry to get the first client, first paying client to
exactly.
actually get some money in. So yeah, but I have heard you're not the only one who just jump straight to the freelancing, and you had the first client at least. That's more than like zero.
Yeah. But basically, right before quitting my corporate job, I got this client from this acquaintance of mine, and that was probably, I don't know, the push that I needed to then
Yeah,
kind of decide once and for all to quit the job, because I was thinking about that. But as I said, uh, in the end, it was kind of an abrupt decision, because I was thinking about that. But then, okay, but what am I going to do after that? I didn't really have any clue, to be honest. I was a bit kind of lost. So probably again, that very first client was the push that I needed, and so I took that chance and quit my job and started with this project. And in the meantime, I also got another very small project, was one page website from another friend of mine, and that was my second Webflow project. And in the meantime, because I really wanted to grow a network and kind of have make new clients, because again, I started studying kind of on Flux Academy's platform, or was watching. I guess at that time it was Webflow Masterclass 2, maybe the second version. Yes, don't remember, but anyway, I started investing a lot of time on their community. I was helping students like me that were struggling with the platform, because I realized quite soon that, I mean, I don't want to say that it was easy for me to learn the platform, because it was not, and I really don't think I'm a smart guy, to be honest. But probably yeah, but probably because I had a sort of uh, mm, kind of physics background, or anyway, I already knew how to code a little bit. it was probably a bit easier for me to kind of digest those concepts. I mean, CSS, JavaScript, and HTML. And so I guess at least 2 or 3 hours a day, I was investing on the community, helping other students. And that's how probably I get my very first clients, I think. I don't remember. For sure, for sure, I got this collaboration thanks to Flux Academy with one of the mentors at that time, which is a kind of close friend of mine, and I'm actually really grateful to him because he kind of really gave me the chance to grow, to kind of build kind of not just simple, I mean, also complex websites with Webflow. He kind of trusted me, even if I barely had any experience with building websites with Webflow. I think he was just kind of interested because he saw that I was helping other students. So probably I had a good kind of knowledge of the platform overall. But yeah, so even if I didn't have any experience, he just asked me to help him with a few projects. And this is how things kind of really got started.
Yeah, that is beautiful, and it goes to say that one should like invest in a community and help others, and that way one can actually get some like real clients. And the trust part is, of course, quite important. Then when you like help people, people tend to trust you, even though if they know that you're not so experienced, they know that you are willing to learn and willing to check things out if you don't know how to do some parts of the project. And yeah, the Flux Academy, I believe I did the same, or the course, the Webflow masterclass around the same time, but I was more like a passive student in that manner, that I didn't engage with the community, which is, to be honest, when I see you on the communities like the Flux and on YouTube, I'm always like I should comment more, I should help people more, and so on and so forth. But are you still like an active mentor in Flux Academy, and how is your relationship to that community right now?
Oh yeah, actually, I'm still working with them as a mentor for their Webflow masterclass, and I'm also helping them with the website from time to time. I mean, maybe I don't know, developing something new. I was kind of the one developing their current website, not the one designing it because I don't know how to design. So, but I was just the one developing the website. And so, see, yeah, I'm still working with them, and it's been great to be honest. It's been 3 years, I think, now. Yeah, because I think I started in August 2022, and it was, and I mean, Flux Academy. I will also for forever be grateful to Flux Academy as well, because they also gave me this opportunity to join, basically just because I was helping their students, and I was doing that for free, and they started needed someone else to help them with Webflow, and they just asked me just because they already knew me, because I had been helping their students for 1 year and a half, I guess. And so after that time, yeah, because yeah, I think it was from, again, early 2021, from mid 2022, and then in August 2022 I joined Flux Academy. Actually, first probably to help them with their website, and then after a couple of months I also joined them as a mentor for the Webflow masterclass. And to be honest, they're great. I mean, the team is great and is made of amazing people. To be honest, very great designers, developers, and also learned a lot from them. And again, I will always be grateful to Flux Academy and to Run, because they really helped me kind of grow in this environment. They also trusted me, and I really learned a lot from them.
Yeah, yeah. That is a beautiful community, and every now and then someone asks me that why don't I make a Webflow course? And I always answer that there is a perfect course already, so I cannot compete with that. So I just I just point to the Flux courses, and yeah, I believe it's just released the fifth iteration of Webflow Masterclass, and I checked out the curriculum, and it seems quite
Yeah,
awesome.
it's a huge course.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, but there is huge like shifts and new things. Like back in when we first took the course, like frameworks were a lot smaller things. Now they are quite like crucial part. And actually, I mentioned in the last episode I recorded with Cory Moan that I always struggle a bit when I'm teaching Webflow, because when is the like right time to introduce the frameworks? You have to get the fundamentals first, and then you can explain the framework. So there is a lot, and that's just one like thing to take into consideration when building a course. So kudos to Flux for making such a good course. Yeah. Uh, about the community. Well, no, let's save that for later.
okay.
We were just at the Flux Academy part of your like career. How about this shift to Japan? Where did it come from? Did you just always know that you wanna move somewhere, and especially Japan? And how did you get to SupaSaito?
Now that's a good that's a good question actually, because I mean, a few months after I quit my job, actually, because I realized I didn't yeah, I realized I mean I knew I didn't have any clients, and so I also kind of was not getting any any money from my company, of course, from the previous company. So I decided to, because I was living in the northern part of Italy, alone is in this apartment close to the place I was working at, and yeah, basically decided to go make a kind of step back a little bit. And so yeah, I went back to the south, and I lived with my family for a year and a half, just to so that I could focus. I mean, of course, save a bit of money while I was growing my business, or trying to grow my business, and then also had kind of the right environment to really focus on that thing. I had my family around, so it was kind of a, how to say, a good environment to then somehow not relax, but I mean a warm environment to grow, a good environment to grow probably.
Yeah.
And again, yeah. But when things started growing or going better a little bit after I joined Max Academy, and also after getting several clients, especially because I was posting quite a lot at the time on LinkedIn as well, and I also got the certification as Webflow expert certification. So I was also getting a few clients from there, and what else? Actually, in the meantime, I also started working with the Webflow sales team, because, and this is kind of interesting, probably because I mean, probably shows that if you really want to create a chance to change your life for the better, you can do that, and you also have to challenge yourself to new things, because I mean, I was still thinking on how to grow my business, and it was, I think, late 2021, right after I moved back to my hometown, and I got this occasion to. I saw this. I think it was probably on Webflow's website or something like that. The first Webflow build challenge that they were
Oh yeah.
to host in Webflow conference, and so I applied to that, and so I sent my kind of project, uh, and yeah, they liked it, and they said, okay, you can participate, and that's how I came in contact with them. And after that, we just I mean, I didn't win. I lost at the very first round. But anyway, anyway, because of that, because I came in contact with them thanks to this challenge. After the conference, a few weeks later, they reached out to me asking if I wanted to collaborate with their sales team, and basically, yeah, working with them to recreate maybe the homepage for potential clients. I think they kind of present, yeah, their they present their platform to potential clients by rebuilding maybe one page of their website in Webflow, and they show how, yeah, the platform is powerful and you can do, yeah, things very quickly, things like that. And anyway, yeah, I started also working with them and got this collaboration, and which is still going on nowadays. And so, yeah, after my business was kind of growing little by little, I started thinking that probably was the time to make another step forward. And so I started thinking where I could go, and I had no idea, to be honest. I mean, I had a few places, countries in mind, but so the reason why I picked Japan at the very end was because I was already studying a little bit of Japanese, and I mean, I had always been fascinated by Japanese culture, Japanese language, and I also wanted to make an experience abroad in a country that was completely different from Italy. that's that's why then I picked Japan as my destination. And also, yeah, when I came here, anyway, even if I was fascinated again by the culture, I didn't really have any expectations. I mean, I knew that this country was completely different from Italy, and you can watch whatever you want on YouTube or read any book you like about Japan. When you come here, and oh man, when you go to a new country and you try to live there, everything is completely different from what you
Oh
can
yeah.
from YouTube or from books or whatever. And so, yeah, again, because I didn't really have any specific expectations, then I said, okay, yeah, let's see how it goes. So I didn't even really have any kind of cultural shock, because I just decided that I would embrace or accept anything kind of this new culture. And yeah, so that's how. And while I was still deciding about the other place to go to move to, I also had the chance to talk a lot with another very very important person in this journey, and she's called Sandra, if I can mention her, Sandra
Oh,
Nanduro. And she really helped me, because helped me to pick a decision, to decide, to kind of overcome my fears, mainly. And she also suggested me to reach out to after picking Japan. She also suggested me to try to reach out to people doing business in Japan, same business as mine, and that's how I came in contact with Igor, the founder, my very very close friend here in Japan and founder of SupaSaito. I reached out to him through LinkedIn, and that's how we kind of yeah, we kind of met the very first time online. And after going to Japan as a student, I had a student visa, which is practically the only way you can stay to stay here for a long time. Now they also have this kind of freelance visa or something like that. They give you 6 months, but yeah, at the time I didn't even have that choice, kind of. So I could only try to get a student visa, so I enroll in a school here, Japanese school for foreigners, and yeah, with a student visa you can stay here up to 2 years. And again, we are right after kind of moving to Japan. I actually met Igor for in person for the first time, and then yeah, we slowly moved from there. I mean, we became friends. We started talking, maybe, yeah, even collaborating a little bit, and yeah, after I guess a bit more than a year, then he asked me to join SupaSaito as, yeah, one of the business directors, basically. And that's how I managed to then change my status here. And now I don't have the student visa anymore. Of course, I have this business visa that I've just got actually probably less than 2 weeks ago, I think, after waiting for
Oh,
7.
nice.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. And yeah, and he is another person I will always be grateful to. Again, as I said at the very beginning, I think I've been very, very lucky because I met a lot of incredible people throughout my whole journey. Yeah, to be honest, I mean, I try to um, kind of create my own opportunities, of course, out of what was happening. But again, I think I've been very, very lucky, and
Yeah.
I will always kind of say this.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And people are important, and I would say that you have been like very active. So the more you do, the luckier you get in a way. And yeah, I'd love to ask, and I will ask you about the things you do at SupaSaito. But before that, uh, like when you were growing your freelance business, did you all you mentioned that you got some clients out of the Flux Academy, the community. Uh, did you like straight out of the gate get like international clients, or whether more like local clients from Italy, or what was the mix? And yeah.
Uh, I got a few clients from Italy, but probably they were coming from mostly from LinkedIn, if I remember correctly. From Flux Academy, they were all international kind of clients. And again, yeah, the first projects that I got, thanks to this guy that was a mentor at Flux, Ethan, and he's Spanish, and yeah, he also at the time, yeah, now he's doing great with his business, and yeah, he's also a great guy, and yeah, and again, he was really important for me at the time, especially. And but anyway, yeah, at the time he was also working with a lot of international clients, so probably I had only two, I don't know, 3 or 4 clients from Italy since I started my career, and
Okay.
then
Yeah.
mainly people from US, yeah, but not only, maybe other country in Europe, um, yeah, so kind of all over the world.
Yeah, yeah, that is beautiful. And of course, you were like part of this English speaking community straight out of the box, like at the start. This is a bit of a selfish question because I have more like local clients, and now I'm trying to make content and be more active in the English speaking community, and maybe get some like more international clients. I have had one or two, but they have come from mainly my Finnish contacts through my Finnish contacts. So yeah, that's a thing for me. But uh, do you have any advice for me or people who try to break into the more global community or market?
So to be honest, I think that probably the most important thing is consistency, I would say. I mean, uh, so let's say publishing posts on LinkedIn. Actually, I don't know. Actually, for me, it doesn't really work that well. But yeah, LinkedIn, for example, or even yeah, training community as Flux Academy, for example. I think that's really helpful because you can come in contact with a lot of people and maybe grow some interesting and long-lasting collaborations from these places. Then I don't know what content to, when it comes to deciding what content to post. I mean, probably based on my experience, if you set yourself as a kind of instructor or a person that wants to share his experience to, I mean, teach people how to use Webflow, in my case, probably it doesn't really work for getting clients. And actually, right now, that's not the reason why I'm doing it. because I want first to focus on, I'm trying to focus on kind of building a sort of network, solid network uh, around Webflow, and also I'm really interested in sharing what I know with other people. So yeah, I cannot really say that I'm doing that for mainly for getting clients. Then of course, if people got interested in my work because they can see my posts about videos I publish on YouTube. Of course, I'd be very happy to bring this new project to into SupaSaito. But anyway, yeah, we're doing well. So mainly right now, because I'm kind of responsible for the academy, the online academy of SupaSaito, that is kind of right now mainly focusing on Japanese speaking people. I want to grow this network of non-Japanese speaking people, and first, and again, yeah, I'm doing that for sharing my knowledge. So yeah, back to the main topic: what content to pick. I would say just showcase what you can do. So and doing that not to teach other people, but just to showcase that you are a good developer, that you know your stuff, and being consistent is, I think, is the key. Because yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people nowadays, of course, posting about Webflow, about their projects, how good they are, whatever, and so it's kind of hard to stand out. And that's why probably I think it's important to really take care of the process when it comes to planning the content, or actually even creating the content to publish. I mean, really pay attention to, I wouldn't say to details, but find something that really can make the difference, kind of, and show how you are different from other people. I think that's
Oh yeah,
really
I totally agree. Consistency is the key, and you have been quite consistent. I actually uh, bumped into one of your like newer videos some time ago, and on YouTube, and I saw you there, and I was like, okay, cool. This is a good tutorial for Webflow, and I should really subscribe to this guy. And then I saw
okay.
that I was already subscribed, and then I realized that I subscribed to your channel all the way back when you had long hair and beard, and I
Oh,
didn't I didn't remember you.
that's
So
sweet.
yeah, that was a funny realization. Oh yeah, this is the same guy with the whiteboard and stuff. So yeah, you have been consistent throughout the years, I would say. So uh, any advice on the content creator creation side? How to be more consistent? Do you have like processes or things to keep on going year after year?
Oh, okay. One thing I wanna kind of, I wasn't really super consistent because I mean I studied and this thing as well was thanks to Sandra, the person I mentioned a few minutes ago. And because yeah, that was kind of in the air, but I mean I really wanted to open a channel on YouTube to share what I knew about Webflow, what I was learning. But yeah, I don't know, I was thinking maybe I cannot do too well, or I don't know, whatever. I was just procrastinating, I think, actually, basically. And but I decided, then finally decided to open this channel, probably a couple, yeah, 2 months, less than 2 months before moving to Japan. And that yeah, it went kind of well for those 2 months. But then when I moved here, I mean, had to go to school, do homework, keep working to grow my business, and so I had to pause actually that project. And it was a hard decision, to be honest. I was constantly thinking about that, but yeah, I mean, I just realized that, and for a while, maybe I was posting, I don't know, a video once every month. But after, I guess, 4 or 5 months, probably less than that, yeah, I decided that I didn't really have the time to focus on that, especially if I wanted to create good content. But then after quitting the school, and so it was late September last year, then I started thinking once again that probably that was the time to started thinking about that once again, especially because I was Igor and I we were already talking about joining to the company, and so we started having this idea of growing a community of non-Japanese speaking people. So I said, said to myself, yeah, probably this is the time to go kind of look back at that project and pick it up once again. And in December last year, I started once again, and to staying consistent. I mean, it's hard, I have to say, but if you can schedule things in advance, and if you are not too kind of strict with yourself, I think it's not super difficult. I mean, if you just, of course, if you're aiming at releasing 2 videos per week, but that is not your main activity, you also have to do other things. I mean, you're going to fail, I would say, and because you would feel you would end up feeling overwhelmed. But if you start thinking, okay, I can publish 1 video per week or 1 video, I don't know, every 10 days, which is my current frequency right now, I think that it's more sustainable. And of course, you also have to kind of take your time to grow your own process, because at first, and I'm still trying to optimize it, but at the very beginning, I mean, it really takes a lot of time to just, I don't know, prepare all the stuff, especially when it comes with recording and editing the video. I mean, for me especially, it was really taking a lot of time. I mean, I managed to kind of optimize that part of the process, but I think there's still a lot of room for improvement. And probably another suggestion would be to follow your interests. I mean, even when talking about Webflow, you can decide to talk about what has been released and try to go with the flow, kind of. But this is actually not what I'm doing, and because I just don't like to talk about new releases, or I don't know, be there as soon as something new happens. I just kind of, I don't know, create content about what I'm really interested in. And maybe I got suggestions from students, from Flux Academy students, or maybe I pick one topic from my endless list of possible content for YouTube videos, or maybe I come up with new ideas, or maybe I see a website and I say, okay, maybe I can recreate, or even a video on YouTube that is only maybe code, and maybe I say, maybe I can try to recreate this effect in Webflow, so kind of mixing code with no code stuff, and maybe even making it kind of configurable thanks to attributes, so that people don't really have to know code if they want to configure it. They just have to kind of go through a short kind of documentation instructions, and then they can configure the effect as they want. And so probably uh, this is what really matters to stay consistent. So to wrap up, do what you really like to, or talk about what you really like to talk about, what you're really interested in, and then be kind of realistic, so don't have plans that maybe you would end up feeling overwhelmed
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, totally. You cannot like start doing like 2 or 3 highly edited YouTube videos a week on top of your day job. That is not like realistic. But maybe one a month, one in a week, like a
Yeah.
simple video. And although it would be a simple screen share video, it too takes a lot of effort. You have to plan and you have to edit. There's of course apps that might help you with that, but even with the latest apps, it takes some time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a constant like struggle for me, and I believe for quite many other people. There was something I wanted to ask about this, but yeah, your advice on uh,
Hmm.
like actually focusing on the things that you are interesting is a good thing, especially for the beginners, because if you just feel that it is not it's another to do item on your list, that does not like bring up the inner motivation to do those things more, and it is
And
not a yeah, go on.
yeah, you don't have to do it because you have to do it.
Yeah,
You do it because
and
it's otherwise, yeah, it wouldn't work, I
yeah,
think.
but you have like great documentations or like the clonables for your current videos. Those are amazing. Of course, it is always like the struggle, especially when you are starting the consistency and how many videos do you actually get to publish, and on the other side, how like good quality videos do you produce, like those documentations and all the other stuff like adds to your quality clearly, and you can just go through the clonables and you understand a major part of how the things you have done are actually done. So that is beautiful. But yeah, it is of course like a way, or there is a path to get on that level, and you might not be able to start from there, because then even if you know and plan that kind of video, you actually do not have the time to make it a reality. So you might want to start with an easier one. Or would you agree?
Yeah, that's true. I think that it's important to understand that you cannot create very good content from the beginning, unless you're very talented. And I think I'm not good at actually at creating content, because for me, I mean, I like to, of course, doing these things, but I don't think I'm really good at kind of talking in front of camera. And also, yeah, English is not my first language, and so it's, yeah, kind of, words don't really come easily, especially when you are trying to explain things while you are doing stuff on the screen. Of course, I mean, you have to prepare yourself before jumping in the project, but I mean, it's not as straightforward as having a conversation like the one we're having right now, or if you are talking to a friend in your own language. And
Yeah.
also, for me, it's very important to explain things clearly. That's actually why recently I started kind of mixing or using actually ChatGPT for scripts. This thing might be interesting, because I mean, usually why I build a project, I take notes about all the things I want to say, because otherwise I know that I'm gonna miss something. Maybe something that I really want to share, because I don't know, a tiny little tip about some Webflow feature or whatever, something that for me maybe is really really important to share. Thus, I take notes, and I also try to explain, but let's say in my own language, so in Italian. So I take notes while going through the project, and then I ask ChatGPT to help me come up with a script in English that's clear enough for other people to understand. And a lot of time, actually, I argue with ChatGPT. Yeah, because I mean, I found out that act- right now, then I don't know, probably things will get better soon, but it's not that good at kind of analyzing a huge bunch of kind of text. And so the very first times I was kind of writing this huge kind of text or wall of text, all my notes for the videos, and I realized that it was missing a lot of important stuff. And so I started kind of testing different approaches, and I realized that, and it's also helpful for me as well. I mean, coming up, dividing the entire video in chunks, in sections, in different sections, and then take notes for the first section, and then come up with a script for that first part of the video. Then you go to the second part, the third part, and by doing that, ChatGPT is really able to kind of elaborate all your notes and coming up with a script that works. So yeah, sometimes anyway, I have to kind of write something myself, because I realized that maybe there's still something missing, or I don't know, I really don't like how things are kind of phrased. But overall, it's great, because I mean, a lot of times maybe you know that there's something really important you want to explain, and that concept is clear in your mind, but
Yeah.
it's because you have to explain it in English, or maybe you wouldn't even be able to do it in your own language, whatever. But you cannot find the right word. You try, but you realize that your words don't really make much sense, especially for people that don't know much about the platform. And ChatGPT is very good at doing that. You explain in your own words, and 99% of the time, it comes up with an explanation that is super good.
Yeah, yeah. And I would say that that is a good practice for even like the native speakers, because you have to like think it through, and ChatGPT can help you with the structure and just explaining the things in a understandable manner. So that is a good. And I think that you also like focus on the right stuff. You mentioned that you don't feel like you are the best content creator, but if you and I are doing content about, let's say, Webflow, we do not like have to be like those cinemagraphers. What is the term? Like, we do not have to have like fancy transitions and stuff. The content, the actual info is like the key, and everything else just has to be like good enough. So you have your good enough camera, you have your good enough audio, but we do not have to be the best at those things. Yeah, the content stuff is ongoing battle, and it is interesting to see where it goes with all the AI stuff and so on. But hey, I promised to ask you about your things at SupaSaito. You mentioned that you have a academy for
Yeah.
Japanese Webflow users, was it?
Oh, yeah, mainly Webflow users. Actually, our main target right now our own clients are our own main
Okay.
target right now. So we basically create content that then our clients can use to kind of train employees internally. And so we're trying to give them all the instruments they need. I mean, we are not just providing them with a new website, we also teach them how to maintain their website. And yeah, we have most of our content is about Webflow, but let's say we also have content about a platform that actually no one knows in Europe or US, but is well known here in Japan, because I mean, the interface is in Japanese, and it's called Studio. And or we have content actually about Notion or about Make, and we're actually working on a course on Google Analytics. But let's say right now, our main focus is Japanese speaking people, but mainly our clients, so that they can train internally and use our content to maintain their websites. But we're kind of thinking of how we can also grow our audience outside of Japan. We're kind of
Yeah, yeah.
in the
And your
process.
title was Chief Product Officer, so is the academy the product you are
Yeah,
like
yeah,
managing? Yeah.
responsible for the academy, and in general for content creation. But yeah, again, we're a small team, but made of very, very talented people. And I think that, yeah, apart from that, even the relationship that you can really build with the people you're working with. I mean, it might sound trivial, but I realize that it's very important, especially um, let's say when you can get inspired by the people you have around. And that's something that I think is very, very, very important, being surrounded by the right people that can inspire you, people you can talk to, not only about work but also about life. I mean, people that kind of share the same vision, and they that in my case that really want to grow, not, I mean, not just as business person, but also as human. And yeah, I think this is very, very important. And again, I realized that I've been realizing this thing for, yeah, years now, since I started this journey. I realized that being surrounded by the right people is kind of, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that is a challenge for like people like me, I believe, at your like career at some point. Uh, we as a like remote freelancers, if you just work alone, well, you have kind of all this like internet communities, but you really have to be active to get like the feedback and the community out of out of those communities, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So any any insight, any advice for the remote freelancers, how to like get that team feeling for their life and work?
Oh, because we have kind of calls to twice a week, and of course, I mean, me and Igor, we're living here in Tokyo, and also his brother Sergey, and I mean, we meet at least once a week, and I mean, again, they're very, very important for me, and they help me a lot, and I've been inspired by them a lot. And that's how, yeah, especially in this last few months, yeah, I realized that it's, again, super important to have the right people around, because you can be, I mean, you can even have big dreams, or you might be willing to do great stuff, but if you're surrounded by people that don't share that vision, and maybe they think that you're dreaming too much, you would end up kind of, yeah, adhere kind of to, or
Yeah.
accept that vision. And mm, yeah, you would end up being influenced a lot, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's the five-person closest to you influence thing. The the idea that you become the people that you are like, the people that you are closest to. It's in a way this small town syndrome, but of course, internet is good to get you out of that. You can find like-minded people who motivate you, and you can do cool stuff with it with them. I mean,
So
but yeah,
you're
go
living
on.
in a small country, you said, a
Yeah,
city.
yeah. City and country. Finland is not. We have in Finland. There's 5 million people, so I believe Tokyo probably has more people.
I thought it was more than,
And
to be honest.
no, it's 5.5, I believe. And yeah, in my town there is like probably 10 or 20,000. I should really look that up, but not a lot. And I visit the capital Helsinki regularly. There's about 1 million people. But yeah,
Oh,
that and the Webflow circles are not that big. There are a couple of like Webflow partners
mm,
besides me, and we have tried to have one Webflow meetup in Helsinki. There was not a lot of people showing up, so maybe we will try again at some point. But yeah, that's partly why I'm like trying to be more active in this online community and meet cool people like you. So yeah. Uh, One thing still about SupaSaito, I believe, uh, did I read correctly that you guys like specialize in migrating from WordPress to Webflow?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have done this, a couple of that kind of projects. Of course, the more complex the site, the more complex the migration. But uh, for people who haven't done those, what are the like key challenges you bump into in a project like that?
Actually, this one, if you want, could be a good question for for Igor actually, because
Okay.
I'm the one responsible for academy. So I mean, we talk also about that, but I'm actually not an expert of migration, and I know that he kind of struggles a lot with CMS migration. I mean, because he always says that. I mean, migrating the CMS from WordPress, especially when you have to migrate blog content, it's not super easy. You have to do a lot of things manually, especially when you copy paste content from, let's say, rich text field from.
Yeah. That's
So, and yeah, that's
that's
probably
my experience too, and
okay.
I believe quite a few Webflow people are not happy to do that. So if you like get to a point that you have done a couple of those, that might be like quite profitable niche in a way, and I believe there is a much like
Yeah,
demand for that.
yeah,
But
especially
yeah,
if you have an understanding of the process, and actually, if you have your own process, like he has actually, he also came up with his way of him building kind of websites with using by using Webflow slots a lot and components. And yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's very cool way of building websites. And now that Webflow allows you to kind of connect also CMS kind of content with components. Okay, now he's really happy because he can do everything he wants basically. Yeah.
oh yeah.
So,
There has been some minor, small little updates, but very like helpful updates. Did you see the latest one with the functions in variables just
yeah,
dropped out?
I
Yeah,
really because I mean I think they're really focusing now way more than in the past. I think on kind of building a product that kind of their product users can really be proud of. I think, and they are improving a lot. And honestly, I don't think they really have any kind of real competitor, to be honest. Because
yeah,
maybe 2 3 years ago, okay, if kind of you I mean, it was more probably similar to what now Framer or Figma are, but now, I mean, they're growing at a very fast pace and they're moving towards enterprise clients, and they are also kind of releasing cool feature. And now that they also kind of now last year they also acquired GitHub. I mean, they are kind of on, I think, on another level, mainly because they are targeting different kind of type of clients or users.
yeah. I agree totally, and I talked with about this with Cory Moon. Yeah, Webflow is getting more technical, in a way more serious for the like bigger clients that have more complex technical needs. And in the past, they were maybe targeting more like designers and people who wanna like build their own designs. But nowadays, it's more and more like almost a like developer tool that you have like all the features for scaling, and all the other platforms like framers and such, they are aiming for the people who wanna like build their site fast and easy, but Webflow is for those who wanna kind of almost code or make it like right, make it technically at as advanced as it can be. So yeah, it's an interesting shift that we have going on, and of course it like affects us as like service providers. Do we still want to like sell our services to like small companies, or do we grow with the platform?
Yeah,
So have you had like evolution in your clients? Do you see the shift towards more like bigger or serious is not the right word. Small companies are too or serious
uh,
too. But yeah, have you seen the shift?
to be honest, not really. I mean, yeah, at Supersaito we always work with kind of enterprise partners, clients, so big companies. But anyway, speaking of my career as freelance as a freelancer, I mean, I didn't really see any particular shift because anyway, I mean, if you know the platform uh, enough, I mean, you can build websites for any type of clients. I even with Webflow. So maybe I don't know, for small businesses, it would be maybe easier to build with Framer or Figma or Figma site. I mean, but if you already know Webflow and you've been using it for years, anyway, I think, I mean, my personal opinion, you don't really have to shift to another platform to build websites, even
Yeah.
for small businesses.
Yeah,
So
I would agree, but there is like this like group of people who just wanna build fast and easy, and Webflow is not for those. But
that's
if
true.
you are like pro and you have a even a small company that you know that is going to grow and they want a proper website, Webflow is still good for that, definitely. But then again, maybe all the AI features will replace some templates and be a solution for some of those small companies that want to build their first site uh, by themselves, definitely. And maybe when they grow, they migrate to Webflow. Hopefully, maybe.
That's
Would
true.
you agree?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Especially if you are a small business and maybe you don't really care about website optimization, for example. I don't know, you don't really care much about SEO or whatever. So you can just be happy with what you can come up with. Framer and Figma site. I mean, I don't know much about those tools, but anyway, I mean, with Webflow, you can really optimize things a lot. And I think you can do a great job, of course, with both Figma site and Framer. But uh, anyway, yeah, again, if you're not really interested in optimizing your website as much as possible in terms of performance and SEO, and you want to ship fast, that
Yeah,
those,
yeah, totally.
especially,
Yeah, go
yeah,
on.
sorry. No, I was just saying that, yeah, especially if you want to build a website for your own business, because I mean, you can just design basically your website and then you can ship it. You don't really have to have a good understanding of CSS, HTML, and yeah, I mean, Webflow's learning curve is way, yeah, steep.
Yeah, it is deep, steep, and yeah, about the Figma sites, it's of course quite new, and well, you can like edit the tags, put in the H1 elements or all the H elements and so on, but out of the box, yeah, it is still in beta, and I believe
But
it has a future, but it is not there yet. Let's say that.
did you get the chance to test? I don't know, either Figma site.
Yeah, I did a quick test and looked at the code, and it was quite interesting. It was
Hey.
like very bloated, even deeper than Webflow sites with client first. Every like little element was in a div which had a automatically generated class. Of course, that is probably the only way you can do a platform like that. Well, well, not maybe, but anyway. So it was quite bloated the code, and I believe people are saying the same thing. But time will tell. Will it
That's
like develop? But Framer has a better standing, I would say, and it
Mhm.
is more optimized. I believe I haven't tried it in a bit, but yeah, this brings mind one bit detailed nerdy question. Uh, if you build your own personal Webflow project, or if you started a new Webflow project today, what would be your framework of choice from the Webflow frameworks?
Oh, actually, I don't have any kind of
So okay, do you probably have some sort of own system, your own starter template?
exactly. And even at SupaSaito, I mean, we have our own way of building websites, and we don't really use any of the frameworks out there. I mean, honestly, I don't really like them. I think they can help you, but I mean, you also have to really understand the kind of limitations or scope of work. Otherwise, you would end up being limited a lot by them, especially if you want to stick to them without allowing for any flexibility. Because anyway, if you're especially if you're building websites that have very complex design, I mean, for SupaSaito is a bit different because anyway, enterprise clients don't want their website to not to look amazing in terms of animations or design, whatever. Their website has to be useful, has to tell the right information to their clients, and yeah, in the right way. So and be optimized, of course. But anyway, I mean, if you can come up with or your own way, no matter the kind of projects you're working for or the kind type of clients you're working with, uh, I think that it's okay to use your own way. And I don't know. Sometimes I think that using frameworks is a sort of kind of fashion. I don't know.
Yeah, a trend. Yeah.
And again, if that works for you, that's totally fine. If it helps you speed up the process and you're happy with that, of course it's okay. But you don't have to. I mean, no matter what, pick a framework and stick with that and use that for your own for all your Webflow projects. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, totally. It is frameworks are not like an easy fix. You and even if you don't use them, which is totally okay, you have to have your own system. So you have to figure out the logic how you're like building. Otherwise, of course, every project will be a mess, and when you come back to edit them, you are like not getting how you build it in the first place. So yeah, that is interesting. I'm totally using frameworks and fascinated about those about the different frameworks. But I totally get the idea that you really have to know the framework,
yeah,
and when you do like custom stuff in those frameworks, you might have to do them in a different way, and that kind of like uh, takes apart the idea of the actual framework. Although probably that is a good way to go. If you have very custom stuff, you can just make an exception. But yeah, well, then there's of course the team aspect. So if there is a lot of people editing the site, it would be
yeah, that's
beneficial to have some sort of like rules for the
definitely.
edits. Yeah. Do you have any comments on like team building or editing the site?
Not really, at least recently, but I mean, I worked on projects that were started by different developer, and I mean, a lot of the times it's just such a mess that you don't even know. Yeah, I mean, you really want to start everything from scratch, to be honest. Especially, I mean, maybe on yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just didn't work with the right kind of team. I'm talking about maybe collaborations that I took. very first kind of few months or the first year of my career as a freelancer. And yeah, usually, I don't know, the projects where the internal design started, but maybe then they didn't have time to complete the project and publish the website. So yeah, they were reaching out to, I mean, different Webflow developers to complete the projects. And I mean, a lot of times you just come up with this, I don't know, very badly developed
Yeah.
sites. No. I mean, I'm not even talking about using a framework or another. I mean, just structuring things properly, naming classes correctly with a sort of meaning. Uh, so I didn't really have good experience.
Yeah. That is the with great power comes great
Yeah,
responsibility. Like we can do all sorts of things in Webflow, but that is the blessing and a curse that you really have to know what you're building or think through what you are building. And I definitely have seen those same kind of projects that need to get finished. And for some reason, the person who started is not on the projects anymore. And yeah, there was some other points about the frameworks. Yeah, I mentioned this on the last episode, but just there are some very clever things in those frameworks, like the Lumos and Mast. And just by going through the documentation, I learned a bunch.
oh,
I might not like actually use them, use the frameworks themselves, but I learned a bunch, and I might like find a strategy or tactic that I would use in my, let's say, my own like uh, project or my own framework if I was to build something like that.
definitely.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's see. My kind of like checklist has been gone gone through, uh, but I'm curious again
Hmm.
about the community part. I mentioned that we could go back to that. How do you see your engagement with the Webflow community from this point forward? What are you doing in the future, and do you have like goals for the community? You mentioned that you want to build a community in Japan, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So yeah, what about that?
Actually, my kind of plans for the future would be keep growing this Webflow audience and keep sharing my knowledge and actually find a way. And we're already working on that. Where in SupaSaito to kind of uh, publish more and more content to be more and more helpful to other people, to the entire community. Because anyway, and it's a bit frustrating for me. But you want to share a lot of things, but I mean, it takes time to just publish a single video on YouTube. But maybe you have, and this is my current situation. Maybe you have a list of more than 400 topics for new content. But I mean, you only have time to publish one video every 10 days. I mean, no
Yeah,
matter how much you're going to, to live, it would take forever anyway. You would never go through that list entirely. And I mean, we also have a lot of knowledge to share. I mean, I'm not just of course not talking actually about me, but all the other team members. But again, yeah, working on new courses is, I mean, takes time if you want to get good quality, if you want to produce good quality courses. So again, our plans for the future, are revolving around a creating we spoke about frameworks, creating a framework that can work for building content, the good quality content, but let's say fast, and so that we can help more and more people, and we can share more and more of our knowledge. So I will definitely keep, let's say, anyway, publishing on, especially on LinkedIn and on YouTube, and of course I will keep helping students at Flux, because that part really helps you understand what people are really struggling with. Because when you get used to a tool, and I'm not necessarily talk about being good at something, you just, I mean, you've been using that tool for years now, and you now kind of know, have your own process, have your own understanding of the tool, and you miss a lot of things that kind of new people approaching the platforms really are really struggling with. So keep talking with them really helps you kind of maintain a focus on those struggles, kind of, and use them to kind of, how to say, to shape your content in a way that can really be helpful to those people. And yeah, this is kind of my plan for the next future. And again, yeah, at SupaSaito we're really kind of trying to understand how we can provide more and more value to the entire community. And yeah, then another, but we actually, and we talked a little bit about that, but it would be great, let's say, to host a huge event, Webflow event here in Tokyo. So we really would like to grow the community here, to get to a point where kind of we could really get sponsored, or anyway actually convince kind of Webflow to host an important event here. I mean, having Webflow Conf here with Webflow, of course,
That, yeah,
huge.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, but now that
Uh,
they decided to, I don't know, to, let's say, this year they are holding the conference only in New York, right? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Is it New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco? Anyway, in the States.
Yeah, just one location anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that would be more difficult. But anyway, yeah, this is kind of our dream.
Yeah, yeah. I was pumped about that news because I haven't actually visited the Webflow Conf. My friend Felix has. Felix means, if you happen to know him, he's also in Finland, and we have had this like plan that we might go to the London event. Uh, Last year it was like it was not free, the event itself, so we decided not to go. And this year there is not a London event, so that's a bit of a bummer. But I would like to see like more, even those smaller events. I would. There is something like something in when you see like people face to face and in the like real life. Of course, internet is awesome, and we can have a discussion like we do right now, which would not be possible. Maybe at least it wouldn't be as easy as it is right now. But I'd like to see more in-person events too. And if I would say that a Tokyo event, like a major event, would seem to be like a no-brainer. It would be a good place to have because, of course, it's a huge country, and if Webflow wants to have a presence in the eastern side of the world, that would definitely be a good move. But yeah, I actually might have asked this before, but do you have like those just Webflow meetups, like more relaxed small meetups back there? And are you planning to do those?
We really want to start planning those events or meetups. We had just one, as I mentioned, but yeah, we really want to kind of grow the awareness of the platform here, and also have this small meetups. It would be great because anyway, yeah, as you said, you can know and get to know more people in person, because I mean, yeah, with our job it's very, very easy to meet person online, and I'm
Yeah.
really glad because, as you said, that now we're having this very cool conversation. But anyway, yeah, there's something that I really miss about, I mean, meeting in person and kind of really, I don't know, connect with people in a different way. I don't know how to say, but anyway, it's different. You can feel it. That you can feel the difference when you can meet in person, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's always the like you have to go to the place and you wonder, is this worth it? But afterwards, you are always like excited and motivated and pumped, and you never regret seeing like people in the real life, especially like-minded people. So yeah, there is something to it, and I believe everyone like knows it, even though everyone is of course excited also about the internet side of things. And yeah, okay, there is one funny little section
Hmm.
to top this conversation off. So I have these Finnish sayings that have been translated into English. So I'm gonna tell you a Finnish saying and give the word-to-word translation, and you have to guess what the saying like means. It might be a metaphor, what the metaphor means, and yeah, we'll see if you get it right. No pressure. This
Okay, so please repeat once again. I'm not sure
so
I
yeah,
got it right.
I will give you a Finnish saying
Oh,
translated into English,
oh, nice.
and you have to guess what it means.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is uh, this is actually quite simple one, but it is a funny one. So
Oh,
in Finnish, I will say this in English just in a sec, but in Finnish it is sopii kuin nyrkki silmään. And literal translation is fits like a fist in the eye, like a actual fist in the eye. And yeah, your job is to guess what that means.
fit like a fist in the eye.
Yeah.
Ooh. So I mean, if I think get my eye, I mean, the sensation or the feeling is not that pleasant. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is a good thing. I would say no, probably. So maybe I would say that it doesn't. Yeah, maybe you can use it when something doesn't fit at all. you and you want to highlight that.
Actually, it is the opposite.
Really?
It,
No way.
yeah, it fits perfectly. It fits if I
Really?
say that, yeah, this image fits like a fist in the eye. It means that it fits perfectly because for some reason fits are meant to go to your eye. Yeah, it is just a
Now,
weird
now,
Finnish
now,
saying. Yeah.
because I think in Italy we have something similar. I don't remember, and but anyway, for sure I remember that this is not a good expression. I mean, you don't really want to convey a pleasant feeling when you use that expression. Wow,
Yeah, yeah.
I was sure about that. Oh wow, so it was the opposite. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, this is the funny part, of course, the all the languages, all the cultures have their own weird quirks. And yeah, I wanna just sprinkle a little bit of Finnish to these episodes. So yeah, Francesco, this has been awesome. Uh,
It was a
if people want to hear more from you, where should they go?
on LinkedIn, I guess for sure. So yeah, I think you just have to type Francesco Castronuovo on LinkedIn, and yeah, you can find me. Or yeah, same name, but on YouTube, if you want to know a little bit about what Webflow actually. And then I also have the X account, which I'm trying to grow. So maybe yeah, on on X probably my name is something like Francesco Flow, I guess.
Nice, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will put all the links in the description
Oh, thank
so
you.
you don't have to guess the right wording. I'm struggling with X2, so it is not a big thing in Finland, and but I know that there is a lot of Webflow talk going on there, so I should be on that too.
Yeah, that's
So
that's
yeah,
it. And then yeah, we have SupaSaito, and yeah, again we're still have to grow our community of English speaking people, but yeah. Anyway, we we have the website, we have our business, and I'm really proud of that actually. And again, if I can say it once again, I'll be grateful forever to Igor and to his brother, to Sergey, for this chance. I don't know if they're going to listen to this episode. I will tell them, but I hope they will. And yeah, and
they
uh,
will they will end at the fist in the eye part and stop
yeah,
there.
I'll be curious to to hear your opinion about that. To hear your opinion about that. And then thanks to you, Jan. I mean, it's been a great pleasure, and it was such a good conversation.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
yeah, because I don't know if you got it, but actually, to be honest, I'm quite shy, and I tend to be kind of very very nervous when I talk to other people. But I mean, it was super easy to talk with you.
Yeah, yeah. It didn't come out at all. It is the magic of this like two-way conversation when we have just two people. It is way easier, and of course there will be people watching, but this is just a regular conversation in a way. Of course, I have planned a couple of things beforehand, but I feel that this is a great way to get to know people and actually talk about interesting stuff and of course do some like actual content on top of that. So
Yeah,
for
but
me this has been too very very exciting, and I'm pumped still about this.
I think you're doing an awesome job. I mean, it's not common to. I mean, there are a lot of people doing podcasts, but I mean, having the ability to I don't know make the other people kind of relax and have this kind of supernatural conversation. I don't think it's that common, to be honest. So just
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah,
you
that really warms my heart. And yeah, okay, uh I'll let you go with your Saturday, and thanks once again.
know.
And for the listeners, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.
Let's keep in touch.